Headline news with a brain, where Big G disarms the censorship axe bearers every episode.
Greetings all, this is Gerald Clark on behalf of 7 Planet Broadcasting. Today I'm going to run you through some kind of interesting yet disturbing information about what seems to be developing. And I noticed this about a couple of weeks ago, that my hackles were triggered by something that Mike Adams seemed to have picked up on. While we're here, for those of you who haven't read my 7 Planet Mercury Rising, in the late chapter, I think it's chapter 12, there's a prophecy for our current times in there, and it seems to be unraveling exactly as it's written. So I encourage you guys to support me and buy that book and have it with you. In chapter 5, it contains the entire Emerald Tablet, all 15 Emerald Tablets in one chapter, with my front-end analysis before you read them. So you don't have to read my analysis, but it's there if you want it. Okay? So, where's my stupid planet broadcasting? Yeah, well, let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Okay, one resource I discovered I want to share with you guys. It's really great. It's called Censored News. Censored.news. And it's an aggregate of lots of different channels, okay? So all these different people have their, I don't know, RSS feeds going over here, and you can see there's a lot of them. So it's kind of all these different news sites in one place. And I'm not a newsie per se. Like, I never, hardly ever get down this far, okay? But look how far it just keeps going, okay? There's that many of them out there. So I think if you want to be informed, I think you can these days. All right. Censored.news. Anyway, one of them I read a lot is Mike Adams. I think he's a freaking hero from Natural News. He was one of those that got kicked off of YouTube and then went off and started this Brighteon that I'm pointing to up here. That's his video site. Then he has several other sites. I think based on where his head is at, I really think he's a good resource that could help a lot of people. So let's go to this article that got me started. 3 unmistakable signs that war is coming to America. Like a virus isn't bad enough, but like I've been telling you all along, that pandemic was just the tip of the iceberg at the beginning, just like in the days of Noah and the Atrahasis and what's happening right now. So it's nice to feel wanted by the hierarchy, isn't it? Anyway, let's go down to these 3 points. I'm just going to summarize them right here. Number 1, just recently, President Trump activated 1 million military reservists. This is the individual ready reserve, right? And it looks like the ones he's going after are people for battlefield injuries, medical stuff, and possibly virus. I don't know. So, number 2, the Pentagon is ordering high-level staffers into deep underground bunkers in Colorado. And that was announced by NORAD, I guess, about a week ago or so. We're going to go to each one of these and look at them just real quick so you see what I'm talking about. But the third one just happened. We just heard about this one yesterday. And that was that the Secretary of State Pompeo just ordered all Americans living overseas to return to the U.S. immediately. Ordered them, okay? So, like, if you're living abroad and you've already got, stuff going on and you want to stay that way, he can't really order you to come home. I mean, he can say, I highly recommend it, but so this is strong language. I just wanted to bring this up to you. So they're saying that the coronavirus is the cover story for it and that flights won't be available. That's how he states it. But that, according to Mike, is not enough to justify all Americans being ordered to return from overseas. And most of them would just do what he said here. They'd hunker down where they're at. So, generally ordering people out of another country and telling you all got to re-expatriate often is an indication right before a war breaks out. Possibly with Russia, China, any of the BRICS nations, right? But it's very possible. So anyway, the article goes on and talks a little bit more about Americans living abroad, blah blah, 10 million of them, and so on and so forth. And ultimately it comes out to, well, the reason Pompeo is ordering people back is because he's afraid that whoever takes them hostage is going to invade us, possibly China, that they can hold them hostage. Okay? Really? I mean, that's any worse than worrying about, them not being able to get a flight back? I don't think he gives a crap about the people living overseas. What's it really about? And I have to tell you, going way back in time, I remember a message from Hidden Hand, I believe it was, that was talking about anybody at the end times when they closed the borders off and were doing this New World Order rollout, that even every citizen would be tracked down and hunted down to make sure they weren't going to escape the, cruel reality of what was destined for their region or their country or their border. That came to mind when I saw this, and I'm like, well, what's really going on here? I don't know. Starfire Gold was used by the Anunnaki to enhance their energy bodies and prolong their lives. Our alchemical elixirs use transition metals like gold to create orbitally rearranged monoatomic superconductive elements. Connect to your higher self today with an alchemical elixir of the Anunnaki. Anyway, so let's go look at this one. 1 million reservists. That's a lot of folks. So Mike also wrote this article. So he referenced an article he wrote from another article, which I think is fantastic. But you can find other articles on this as well. So I wonder what these people are thinking about being ordered to active duty suddenly. And I don't see that they mention the age limit for these people. Just that they have the basic technical skills in the medical space that the government wants. Okay, so then this one, number 2, ordering into high-level bunker. I heard about this one first. And it reminds me of the movie 2012. Everybody's fighting over a ticket to get into the underground bunkers and stuff. And at the same time, Enki's anonymous message says, you go underground here to save your sorry ass from what's coming, then you'll be enslaved for the next 26,000 years through your energy body and reincarnation serving that beast you just signed up with. So, I don't know, it's a pretty strong warning not to take an underground ticket and go into these bunkers and survive while the rest of the people on the surface suffer a different karma, Anyway, let's go look at that one. Oh, this one came from the National Sentinel. Pentagon orders essential staffers to deep underground Cold War bunkers as COVID-19 pandemic broadens across the U.S. So you can read up on that, but once this process gets initiated, I don't know how far it could go, but imagine the wheels start churning with people who look like this, that have, briefcases with codes in it to activate missiles and all that kind of stuff. This is kind of what you're dealing with. So, not a happy time. And, how long is it going to be before the president himself is going to get vectored off underneath here so he doesn't get the virus and possibly die? I mean, he's kind of elderly, so more susceptible, right? And then the last article that ordered people to come back to America, this one shows up in the Daily Mail, where Mike Pompeo orders Americans to return home immediately. Why? Because I can't guarantee charter flights once commercial planes cease to operate. So apparently behind the scenes they've been vectoring people back home. Right here, 26,000 Americans repatriated from countries where commercial options are limited or probably got shut down due to the virus not being, or, impacting the commercial flights. So I suspect that's what that is. But so, so there you have it. It's kind of interesting. I'll try to get out of all this for now, but I wanted to share that with you. I do think that these signs are real, and from what I've been able to put together, and previewing all the information so far, freaking Mike Adams is hitting a home run right now in sharing with people what could be brought to bear real time to help with all kinds of issues with his medical lab and food connection. So really great. Good job, Mike. I just want to say that. So this has been Gerald Clark with 7 Planet Broadcasting, Headlines with a Brain, on April 1st, 2020. You guys have fun in quarantine, and we'll talk to you soon. Please visit my website store where Anunnaki items like historical genealogy scrolls, the always popular alchemical elixirs and starfire gold, as well as our books in English and Spanish, digital and paperback. Gravity Body Academy courses and events can also be accessed in the online store. Purchasing our products and services enables Krista and I to continue serving the community. Thank you for your support.